Poetics, what's up, man? Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Evolution. I'm doing great. I made it. How are you doing today?
Oh man, I'm making it, man. I'm making it, man. We gonna push through it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
All right, you ready to do this?
Just waiting on you.
All right, let's go.
What's going on? What's going
What's going on? This is Evolution, and I am here with my sidekick, Mr.
Poetics. What's going on, everybody?
Hey, man. Great morning, man. I probably sound worse than what I feel. I got a little congestion going on. Kind of excuse that today. I appreciate everybody tuning in and supporting us and following us and all that good stuff. We got another one for you. I think it's a good one. What you think, Poetics?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a good topic to touch on, and I think hopefully everybody will find it helpful.
Hey, man, we're going to do what we do. Before we get into it, man, we're going to highlight our sponsorship, JG's Lounge, TGBTG, Golden Diamond Productions, Vive, VYV. Comes in a little vial, you shake it and sniff it, and it gets the brain activated. Excuse me. For the day, if you're a little sluggish or whatnot. Uh, you go to Lucian 15. I'm sorry, go to Vive.com, myvive.com. Type in Lucian 15 and get that discount to help support the show. I'm struggling through this, man. I got a lot going on with my vocals this morning, but hopefully everybody can hear me and understand what I'm saying. Your boy Evolution dealing with some stuff, but I'm gonna push through it. uh, Title for the day: uh, Family Business. The importance of having one. What's your thoughts on that, bro?
Yeah, man. I think family business are important. As it obviously will be able to generate a nice legacy moving forward for you and your
Mm,
family, and
yeah,
hopefully some generational wealth comes along.
man. Look, not only that, man, but a lot else probably goes along with that. What people don't realize is, truthfully, man, a lot of people are falling behind. A lot of families are falling behind when it comes to making it and just doing what it takes, excuse me, to survive. And a family business or business period can change that and make it for the better, man. Let me put some noise on in the background. The first thing we got here is reasons why family businesses don't happen. Uh, man, um, people make a lot of excuses and whatnot, but what we came up here with is the first thing I got here, some poetics, is no support from the family. What you got for that, bro?
That's actually huge. A lot of times when you deal with family, I've noticed, let's just throw this out hypothetically, but it does really happen. Family, a lot of times you might do something, no matter what it might be, it could be this, it could be that. And, you know, you're charging anyone else who's not family, but the family, they tend to think that because they're your family, that no charge is necessary.
Yeah, man.
And it's like it's one of those things. It's like where this is kind of what I'm doing, so I want your support like I would want it from anybody else. And the beauty of it is, it's not like there's hypocrisy here. Like, if I know you're doing something,
Hmm.
like, the beauty of it is, I know, hey, I don't expect to get something for free. I'm expecting, hey, to compensate you for your efforts and your services, just like I would anybody else. So yeah, it's one of those things that certainly needs to be addressed.
Man, that brings me to an idea, man. Excuse me. That happened some years back. Had a family member who had a business and they got it started, and I finally made it down there to support them, and that's exactly what I went to do to support them. Make a purchase and whatnot. and their attitude towards it was, you my peeps, man. You ain't gotta pay. I'm like, yeah, yo, I appreciate that, but you just getting rolling, man. You know, uh, I can see if you was fully established and everything was great, but you're just getting rolling. Let me support you. That's why I'm here. And I don't know if they took offense to that or what, man, but you know, I took pride in supporting that family member, man. And apparently that's how they was running their business. They was letting people that they knew come in and get free stuff. I'm like, you can't do that. You got to get your money right first.
Right.
And one thing after the other, they just ended up not having that business anymore. It didn't last too long, bro. Unfortunately.
Wow.
Yeah, they had a nice setup, but you just gotta handle business, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do business first, and then family and peeps and all that other stuff comes later. And to me, if you start it right, you end it right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What you got for that, bro?
I love the first hand experience that
Yeah.
you mentioned there, and you definitely piggybacked off of where I started, and I love that, man. That was great.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, man, I think we have to get out of that of I'm gonna let this person do this and this and this for, without cost or what have you, because it's like it literally hurts your chances of having a successful business before you even really get it rolling.
Man, look,
So
and our people need to understand that, man. No matter what background you come from, business is cost. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have money to make it through the day, through the week, through the month, through the year.
right,
And if you don't cover those expenses to make a profit, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? You can't operate like that, man. So the next thing we got, uh, as far as reasons why businesses of the family don't happen, uh, is lazy, man. People can't get out of their everyday normal energy. What's it? Apathy. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
What you got for that, bro?
I love that, man. A lot of times people, I actually agree with that too, man, because sometimes it's just so easy to be so stagnant doing
Mm,
whatever. You're like,
mm,
hey, I can do this and I can pay my bills. But a lot of times you can't do much more than pay your bills, because when you don't have your own business, you have to do so much more
yeah,
than, you can't set your own hours. You can't necessarily dictate how much you'll be compensated.
boy.
You don't really get a nice work-life family balance the way you would like to have. So a lot of times, you just don't have any control over anything, to be
Boy,
honest.
boy.
So it really limits you.
Hmm. The laziness, as far as that's what you're talking about. The
Yes.
laziness limits you.
Right.
So yeah, you got to get out of that old habit as far as putting energy into something. I mean, this is yours. You know what I'm saying? So you would think that because it's yours, your energy will be way high in your efforts towards success, even over that of a regular job or career, because this is your baby. You know what I'm saying? This is what you're doing to make money. You pushing it. You doing all the things that's necessary to get your stuff rolling right, man. So laziness cannot be a part of it.
Right.
Period. Uh, we just got to bring that energy, bring that life, and bring that action. You know what I'm saying? You can't be waiting on the Lord or whoever else. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people got that mentality, man. I didn't mean to go there, but since I'm there, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people think just because they wake up in the morning, they ain't got to do nothing else. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? You waking up in the morning is the Lord telling you got to go do something. You got
Right.
another opportunity to go get something done.
Right.
But if you wasting away, that's a disservice to the creator that put you on this planet. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So to speak, man. I ain't trying to put nothing in nobody's ear today, man. I didn't mean to go there, but that's where it went. But can't be lazy. So we gonna move on to the next unless you got something, bro.
Just a real quick rebuttal, man, and I love it. I think, to go off of that statement that you just made,
Yeah.
people so busy waiting on the Lord, and He's waiting on us.
Boom. Hey, boom. There you go. I mean, you can't win the lottery without buying a lottery ticket, right?
Right. For real.
You ain't got no numbers and you're expecting to win. It only costs a couple dollars or $1, however you invest, but you can't get nothing if you don't invest at least that, right?
Right.
You got to invest something, you know what I'm saying? You got to put forth some type of effort to make things happen, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So we got to get out of that mindset if that's where we at. We got to hustle and grind for everything, man, even if it's a job, but in a business, you definitely got to bring it. You know what I'm saying? You got to have all of your ducks in a row. You got to have all your I's dotted and your T's crossed, period. Nothing else.
Right.
So the next thing up when it comes to reasons why family businesses don't happen is lack of vision. No vision, man. What you got for that?
Man, it's funny. The first thing that comes to my mind, and I know you brought in, people's mindset when it comes to the Bible earlier, so I'm gonna bring in another one.
Okay.
And this one is actually really applicable to our point. Where there is no vision, the people fail.
Boy.
So, I mean, if you don't, it's pretty simple, simply stated, if you don't have a vision, a dream, a goal, something that you actually want to accomplish, typically you're, on the right path to successfully failing. I mean,
or failing successfully.
Exactly.
Man, I don't think anybody's born without some type of vision, man, some type of idea of creativity or successful venture. Whether they use it or not, people have gifts and talents.
Absolutely.
And if you put it and present it in a way, in the shape or form of a business, 9 times out of 10, you will be successful if you put your effort into it. You know what I'm saying? Your vision we're talking about, or the lack thereof. You can't have a business without a vision. You got to have some idea or some view of what you want to do or what you're trying to do. And if you ain't got that, you just chasing your tail, which you ain't gonna get nowhere. You're just going in a circle.
Right.
But people who have that vision have to pursue that vision. You know what I'm saying? You got to connect with the right people. You gotta push yourself. The biggest thing is pushing yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not obligated to get up at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning to do your business. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have that self-motivation yourself, or that vision to go after. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people feel like I can set my own hours. I think you mentioned that. Or I don't have to go work on a Tuesday because I just don't want to. You know what I'm saying? But in a business, when you check those numbers, excuse me, you'll realize maybe sometimes on a Tuesday, that's your strongest day of the week.
Right.
Depending on what's going on. So you have to not only have that vision, but chase that vision. What you got, bro?
Yeah, man. You definitely have to make sure that you're focused, because if you're not focused on trying to get to, I like that point you made, man. It kind of alters my thought here, because it's like, if you don't have a vision, there's nowhere to actually see where the business can even go. There's
Mhm.
no vision for it, so it's like a death penalty that is gonna fail by default because you don't have a vision for it anyway.
Boy, bang!
So
I tell you what, that was beautiful, man. So much truth in that.
thanks.
Yeah. Um, so we're talking about family business today, the importance of having one, and we already talked about not having support from the family. Excuse me, laziness and no vision. So what we're going to get into now, and once again, excuse my vocals this morning. I'm having a little struggle with that, but I'm pushing through it. Uh, is family members or people, period, want something for nothing. In other words, they want to take the credit for the business. Uh, they want to they want the money out of the business, or they want the title of like I own a business, I'm the president, or this is my business, but they're really not earning that. They're really not putting anything in to uh, merit that. What you got, bro?
Wow, that's such a great point. Yeah, man, I think it's stated so well. Wanting something for nothing, you can't.
Hmm.
I mean, typically, in order to receive a dividend, you have to kind of put something toward it so that you can reap it on the back end when it does become successful. But
Absolutely,
I would say you get out of something and you get out of life what you put into it.
boy. Just well put, straight point blank, undeniable, bro. And I want to highlight some things that's coming to my mind as we're talking. Uh, we have family, right? And the thing that came to my mind, bro, is how people do. So, for instance, you can have a cousin, right? And excuse me, you won't communicate with that cousin, you won't talk to that cousin, they won't talk to you, vice versa, whatever. But they're your cousin, right?
Hmm.
And then you find out they got this business. Then all of a sudden, oh yeah, that's my cousin. You know what I'm saying? You know that restaurant or that shop or that store down on such and such. Yeah, that's my cousin. You know what I'm saying? What is that?
Wow.
What is that really saying, bro? What you got, man?
I love that point because people don't want to sometimes acknowledge your existence
Boy,
until there's something that you know that's extra special that stands out about you.
right, right.
So they like you said, they don't have a real relationship with you,
Mm-hmm.
to begin with, and then when you achieve a business, especially one that's successful and
Yeah, yeah.
possibly growing and
Mm-hmm.
expanding, now they talk to other people and it's like, yeah, that's my cousin, and it's almost like a facade of I communicate and I'm close knit with this cousin, but you're really
Right.
not.
Exactly,
You're
man.
really not.
And also maybe that person was one of the people that you were trying to hook up with or connect with when things got rolling. And they were like, nah, I'm really not feeling that, or that ain't me, or, you know, do what you gotta do, back to the no support, but whatever. But when you start getting results and grinding and
Booming, right,
yeah, making a name for yourself, then all of a sudden on the back end, you know what I'm saying?
right.
They trying to get credit for or a title for something that they really don't deserve, man.
Mm,
Um, some family members got that bad, Uh, I don't know where it came from. I don't know where it started, but it really needs to end quick.
man, man.
You got anything on that, bro?
Yeah, man. I mean, I think, yeah, you got to learn how to be able to come from a place of authenticity,
Hmm. Yeah,
because
absolutely.
you know when people are really trying and grinding and trying to pursue that dream and that vision to have a solid business that's able to be, have that longevity,
Uh-huh.
when people want support, that's all they ask for is support. They want it to be real. They want it to be genuine.
Yeah, yeah.
And typically as a result of that, when you're down with them from the beginning, when things are a struggle, when things are like, man, I'm trying to really make it, and you're trying to stay afloat, when you get to the other side, you know, you don't have to ask and desire something. A lot of times it comes back to you.
Boy, there it is. Bullseye, bro. Bullseye. You light them up today.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, so we're talking about family business today, and the importance of having one. And right now we're into the reasons why family business doesn't happen. So the next one up on the board is haters, man. Haters of all kinds. And these can be people in your family. These could be friends. These could be people that are close to you. And there can also be people you don't know. When it comes to family business and the importance of it, where do you think haters or how do you think haters affect that? What you got?
Man, I think that's a great point because, a lot of times when people are not necessarily focused on walking in their own purpose, pursuing their own dreams, that could revolve around any business of any kind, they're looking at you like you're wrong for trying to do the one thing that they're probably too afraid to do.
Boy, yeah.
So, their thought process is, it won't be successful. They're actually, in a way, preying on your downfall.
Boy.
Hoping that it fails and hoping that it doesn't, turn out to be a major success. And that's a heavy burden when you think about it.
Why do people do that, bro? I mean, what's the point? Why not be happy for somebody or support them? Why not do your own thing? I mean, it takes less energy actually to do that than it does to hate on somebody and try to smear their name or, downplay what they're doing or just hate on it, period, man. What you got?
That's beautiful, man, because I think it's all about the mindset. I think their mindset, they're in a state of mind where they think it's easier to hate, than it is to actually pursue and chase their own, dream and walk in that purpose. But it's like, man, it takes it's like one of those small things where I think you probably heard this before, where it takes so much more energy to frown than it does to actually smile.
Man.
And it's like, it's kind of like that same effort and that same energy with life itself. It takes so much more energy to try to set someone up for failure than it does to try to, focus on you and, make your own thing happen.
Man, I mean, when you mentioned that about the smile, you naturally contract upward. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when you frown, it's going against what your natural muscles are supposed to do. So I got that, man. And then on the other hand, man, I want to talk about conditioning, man. When it comes to how people have become conditioned to naturally hate on something before they appreciate something.
Wow.
And I want to let people know that conditioning has you hating on your own, but appreciating others. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna bring it, dog, on this one because I think it's very relevant. So when you talk about people that look like us, bro, we have things that we do or have done for years, like soul food, barbecue. We cook. You know what I'm saying? We can cook some Southern food. We can do all that. But when you drive down the street, bro, what are you passing? You know what I'm saying? You passing stuff like McDonald's. You passing stuff like Taco Bell. You passing stuff like Italian Delight. You passing,
Right.
Mexican restaurants. You passing Chinese food. Dude, you literally passing everything else.
But soul food restaurants.
Boom. How depressing
Wow.
is that, bro? How upsetting is that? How ridiculous is that, bro?
I mean, that's That's a incredible point, man. That's a bullseye because this is really the reality of where we live, ladies and gentlemen. For those who don't know, like when we literally drive, just about anywhere randomly, you don't find a lot of, let's just say, it, black-owned restaurants, black-owned businesses in general.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's a huge noticeable reality to point that out. Like, yeah, when you're driving around, you see everyone and everything else booming but us.
Yeah, but they get a lot of our dollars. All these other businesses that I just mentioned, more power to them. And I'm glad that they're there because believe me, bro, when I get hungry and want a taco, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But when I get hungry and I want some shrimp fried rice, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm gonna jump on it, bro. But the thing of it is, man, we really have no excuse. There's a lot of excuses made every day, but hating and shouldn't be one of them.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? If we take the hater out of it, then maybe we'll see more of those soul food restaurants and them southern food, fish fry restaurants and all that. I've seen people trying, but again, the things that we already mentioned are the reasons why they fail. You know what I'm saying? Let's get on, man. Let's keep moving, man. The next one up, reasons why family businesses fail. We jump right into it, man. This is working real smooth, man. The first one on that is not trustworthy, bro. What you got for that?
Wow. There's so many, I think, ways you could actually go with this.
Yes.
So I'm thinking, when I think of not trustworthy, a lot of times people we don't give each other a chance. We don't really, we'll look at, let's say there's two businesses side by side, and let's say hypothetically there's a black business, and then next to it there's a business by someone else. And it's kind of like in the area where we're from, instead of us looking at the black business because we may or may not know too much about it, we're kind of like, well, this other business I think I might know, so I'm gonna go ahead and trust them. And it's interesting because at some point somebody and a group of people had to trust this business that we have faith in, right?
Right.
So you really don't know what you think or what you would like until you actually try it.
Right. The reputation precedes itself, man.
Right.
And
we have to broaden.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna mention we just have to broaden our horizons.
Absolutely, man. And I'm gonna go a couple directions, man. If a business is not trustworthy, it can go, like you said, a lot of different ways. But the ways I want to go right now is the difference when you deal with a black-owned business versus another type of business. They don't back what they're supposed to back. In other words, if I'm doing business with you and you tell me my order is going to be ready at this time, this day, that's what I'm expecting, right? And this is what I've experienced personal. I'm not going to say what type of business it was or who I was dealing with. I go there that day, since it's very important, right? I need to have this at this day and this time. Can you guarantee that? Yes. All right. And we even discussed the price. It's all good, right? Right. I go there that day. I go there that time. It's not ready. And then all of a sudden, the price is way more than what it should have been. At that point, I'm like, done. I'm done with you. You know what I'm saying? You wasted my time. You wasted my effort. And you're trying to get me for extra money. What you got for that, bro?
Wow. That's huge, man. That's a bullseye of a point because there's this thing, and I take it here, the Better Business Bureau, and where
Yeah,
your rating is, right?
yeah.
So those businesses that have that A+ rate, those are typically the more or the most successful businesses that you kind of come across.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to think of the factors that determine that kind of rating, right? So
Yeah,
your
absolutely.
customer service, your
Mm-hmm.
price guarantees,
Mm-hmm.
your ability to deliver said service at a specific time that's agreed upon by you and the customer.
Yes,
All those things, they play such a huge factor. They are the factors
absolutely.
into, that would be able to generate those kind of ratings for you. So, man, that was a great point, because it's like,
Uh,
if you don't, it's like, the phrase, your word is your bond. If you're not
mm-hmm.
basically able to stand on that, your business won't last too long.
Boy, and another example I want to bring is there was a great restaurant here in the area. Uh, Started off awesome. I mean, sandwiches this big, you know what I'm saying? You couldn't even bite it. And then, like, shortly thereafter, because the price was right for what you was getting and the food was delicious. Shortly after, the sandwiches started doing like this, getting smaller considerably. Excuse me. And the price started growing considerably, you know. Excuse me, for somebody to be that successful and change that fast, it was more to me about greed than it was anything else. Excuse me, and not taking care of the customer. So that's also considered not being trustworthy as far as I'm concerned. What you got, bro?
Wow. Yeah, that's almost like an example of a price gouging, if you will, where
Haha.
you you know, you if something's obviously, clearly working for you, that you're doing something right, something correctly, and then as you experience just a little taste of success, you don't know how to handle it. It's kind of what I get out of
boy,
that.
boy, boy. I
Wow.
tell you what, man, it's out there. It shouldn't be, but it's out there. And those businesses, of course, eventually fail because of that. Next up on the list is theft.
Wow.
What you got for that, bro?
Man, yeah, it's amazing how, thievery can be the downfall of a people or business. Man, it's kind of one of those things where it's a SMH type of moment, because you know you working so hard to try to achieve something,
Mm-hmm.
and then you go into your business one day, or you go just to kind of check on things and swing by, and you notice that it's been, broken into, and you're like, what in the world is going on? And that, you're right, man, that kind of thing can have such a lasting impact that in a way you might feel, I think a lot of business owners kind of feel, I'm done trying, I'm trying to bring something to our community, something
Yeah.
that our people can have, that's for
Yeah.
us, by us, like FUBU. And
Right.
you find that there are always groups of people who don't get it.
Well, they either don't get it or they're trying to get it for free,
Right,
but by way of taking it from you.
right,
I got an example from someone who was very close to me. They had a business that they started, and the location. When I found out where it was, I'm like, why here? Why would you put it here? Why not in a mall that's secure? Because in a mall, you got to break into the mall to break into your location.
right.
But where this location was, it was back in the corner of this little strip mall. Even with cameras, it's just not a good place to be. Excuse me. And they got broken into. And when you relying on insurance and you're just getting started, there's a time lapse. You know what I'm saying? So while you're getting all your stuff put back together, all that time is lost. People come by and they see your clothes for whatever reason. That's lost business. And then you get it back together again finally. Then it gets hit again. You know what I'm saying? So it's like literally probably people obviously. And then what does the insurance company think? You know what I'm saying? You reporting all these break-ins.
Claims,
Yeah.
right?
So eventually that doesn't work in your favor either. So theft is something else, man. So you got to do all you can to protect yourself and put your business in a location to where it minimizes the theft. You know what I'm saying? It minimizes those break-ins, so your business will have a chance to succeed. Uh, what you got, bro?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely gotta. Yeah, man, we definitely spoke on that. Like, you definitely have to, I guess, be a bit more strategic with where you decide to even place your business, right?
Boy.
Because if you don't place it in an area where it would be a solid starting point to generate success for you,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be a really, uphill climb, because if you're in an area where theft is a little higher, it's gonna be really almost impossible for that business to really survive and stand on its own.
Boom. Survive and stand on its own. Words of a successful person. Man, that's beautiful, bro. So from not trustworthy to theft and reasons why businesses fail, family businesses fail, to the next one, which is damage. What are your thoughts on that, bro? Damage for a business, family business.
Wow. A lot of times, and it kind of almost, not completely, but sometimes it goes almost hand in hand in theft.
Mhm.
People would rather literally see you fail than see you succeed, right?
Right.
So sometimes it's not even always a natural disaster that causes the damage, right? Sometimes people would really, break in, try to do some things that are obviously destructive just to hurt your business, as opposed to, wanting to see you, be successful and prosper.
Mm.
So they're literally they're gonna put their efforts to seeing that you actually fail, right? And
Right.
that's horrible, because those same efforts could have been into maybe putting it towards a business of their own.
Right, man. And I'm gonna go here, man, uh, because I know it exists. You got people who want to sue you for stupid stuff, even stuff that they create. Uh, I've seen people put stuff on the floor and then come back a couple seconds later and slip and fall. You know what I mean? I mean, it's on camera, bro. I've seen people burn establishments down. I've seen people drive their vehicle right through the front of the, establishment. Uh, I've seen all kinds of damage like that, man, from people
Wow.
who just want to ruin your opportunities. I'm gonna give you a chance to respond on that, bro. And I'm gonna step away for just a second while you respond. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty amazing how damage can cause so much harm. Like, as opposed to you saying, I want to, support, become a patron, to try to help someone be successful. People are so busy trying to get over. They're so busy trying to, figure out ways to be able to find a way to be, just get over without putting any effort into anything. So, like I said before, as opposed to, not only wanting to see you be successful and, y'all go grind and make it together, they're, putting all their efforts into destructive patterns that would make it that much more difficult for you and your business to be successful.
Man, so you have to, like, again, set yourself up for success and try to eliminate those reasons for failure. especially as a family business. Um, so the next one we got here is no commitment, bro.
Wow.
Excuse me, what you got for that?
Yeah,
Reasons why
people.
family businesses fail. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. A lot of times, people often don't necessarily have a vision, right? As we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
So a lot of times when you don't have a vision, there comes a lack of commitment with it.
Mhm.
Um, so if you're like, sometimes people want to try something, like you said, for the glamour and the glitz, they want the credit, but a lot of times they're not willing to put the work in to, to show that commitment. I mean, it's like some of the successful ingredients of a marriage, right?
Boy,
Commitment is
boy.
huge. When you're
Mhm.
committed to the other person, and that
Mhm.
person is really truly committed to you, you'll find that you have an unbreakable bond, right? It has no
Right,
choice but to be successful and to
right,
thrive.
right.
And I think a business is kind of actually going to work similar. I mean, I think life is similar,
Boy,
where if you're really truly committed, you'll be surprised how much you'll be able to achieve just by showing that level of commitment.
absolutely, man. And I'm glad you said that because when you had that commitment, everything else that we mentioned before now goes away. When the haters, the family members that don't support you, uh, all the reasons that we talked about before go away when they see that, hey, no matter what happens, I'm going to be successful and I'm going to run this business. You know what I'm saying? They break in, you back in business the next day. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
They start a fire, you back in business the next day, the next week, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You do it
right.
all you can to discourage those people that's trying to discourage your successful business. What you got, bro?
Wow. Yeah, that's called you know, that commitment is a level of determination, man.
Absolutely.
When you're saying, hey, it's like your mentality as a business owner is, I have no choice but to be successful.
Boom. There it is.
I put too much effort. I've put too much time. I put too much hard work. Success is the only option.
There it is. That's exactly where we're going with this, bro. And I'm glad you said it. Uh, reasons why family businesses fail. The next one on the list, I'm not going to touch that because that was perfect. uh, uh, all talk and no walk. Uh, what you got for that, bro?
Wow. A lot of times being in areas where we're from, so many you always come across a lot of people who talk an incredibly, great game, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And when it comes to actually, following through on the vision that they say they have,
Hmm.
it's so different from the language that you hear them speak and the confidence that they say that they actually have in whatever it is they're trying to achieve.
Right, right.
So it's one of those things where, you know if you're not actually trying to achieve it,
Hmm.
physically trying to achieve it in your day-to-day actions, the talk is just so wasteful.
It is. It's a waste of time, and time will pass you by. And then you have people like, well, I thought you was gonna do this. When you said you was gonna do this, when you gonna get to do that? That came from your mouth. You put that out there in the atmosphere. So if you don't back it up, or if you're really not doing that, then what are you really doing?
Right.
Uh,
Right.
yeah. So it's a lot of talk out there, and then when it comes to time to take the action and do it, people disappear. I mean, I see that every day in every situation. I can be at a business or just in a situation where there's a coworker who's pissed about something and they vent and they're too busy running their mouth and they coming to you for advice and you're like, well, shoot, something like that going on. You need to take action and go here and do that. You need to talk to such and such. You need to make this call to this people. You need to, you know, move towards reasons to resolve that issue.
Right.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do that. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do that. No, they're not.
Right.
They wasting their time and they wasting yours because they're not gonna do nothing about it. And then me, I follow up on everything. I'm like, a couple days go by. So hey, how did that come out? After you talked to him, well, I didn't talk to him. All right, whatever.
It
What you got, bro?
it becomes one of those things where you're like, why did you not follow through?
Yeah. And why'd you
Uh,
waste my time by complaining to me? Go ahead, bro.
Right. I'm gonna use a very simple metaphor that I don't think ever really gets used,
Mm-hmm.
but it's or more of an example. It's almost one of those things where you're playing a game of basketball, right? You drive to the basket and you realize there's contact made and the whistle blows,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't shoot the shot.
Right.
There
Anyway.
there's no continuation for a possible and one because you took it away from yourself. You didn't shoot it.
Yep.
So now you're gonna have to settle for, two free throws possibly, or really maybe a side out of bounds because maybe it wasn't in the act of shooting because you didn't put it through on a continuation. So I think it's more of a simple comparison, but it's really true to life.
Boy, no doubt. So we're gonna change up the tone here for a little bit, and we're gonna get into why have a family business. And while we're there, let's get into one of our segments, man. It's called "I Didn't See It and I Didn't Heard It All." This is a little different, bro. I saw this and I'm like, you know what? That's a trip. But we always talk about social media and how people ineffectively use it or waste time and do a lot of stuff that just you don't see anywhere else but social media.
Right.
Check this out, man. This is in Europe, involving their parliament when it comes to the selection process and getting voted into office. We got some candidates who became members who won seats in parliament with no experience, no history, but by the use of social media. And this particular individual here, one of the ones I'm going to talk about, has 2.6 million followers on YouTube and even more on TikTok.
Wow.
And just by, I guess, putting it out there that they were running to their followers, that got them a seat in the parliament in Europe. So they were elected just by social media followers, dude. That's crazy.
Wow.
And I guess this is a history of that in Europe because there's been situations where people who were incarcerated who got elected. And then even when they tried to fight it, and even when those people who were incarcerated tried to drop out of the race, they still won the seat.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Ain't that crazy?
It kind of, I guess it goes to show you the power of social media, right? I mean, oh my God.
Exactly. I didn't see and I didn't
I
heard it
heard
all, bro.
Wow.
Social media getting people in office, bro. Even incarcerated. I mean, that's crazy.
Wow.
Where are we going, man? Where are we going?
I don't think anybody knows at this point.
All right, so let's jump back into it, man. Why have a family business? Number one, another reason to keep the family together. What you got, bro?
I love it, man, because you realize that there's something like in a way greater than yourself that you're fighting for when you have this business, right?
Right.
it allows you to even build more of a tight knit bond with your loved ones because they realize and they see what you're doing and they're like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
this person is really trying to leave something behind that, not only allows us to be successful in the here and now,
Mm-hmm.
but successful in the future moving forward.
A legacy, right?
Right. Right.
That's beautiful, man. And I gotta say this, bro. We need all the reasons we can come up with to keep the family together and make it tighter. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
And a family business is really one of the things you can do that can solve and resolve a lot of different stuff that's going on. You know what I'm saying? Um, it's a reason to, like, for instance, let's say one of your family members is struggling with abuse. Uh, so the rest of the family, you got this business, you're pulling things together. They can't get a job anywhere, right? So you got them working for you, and you know they, you know how they are. You know what I'm saying? They gonna do what they do. They gonna mess up. They gonna get in trouble. But this business is holding everybody together, and you're looking at them in a different angle than everybody else would. And just by that alone, eventually, hopefully, that person will come around. You know what I'm saying? And see that, you know what? I can't do this anywhere else. I can't go anywhere and get a job. I can't make no money anywhere else. Nobody will do anything for me, but my family got me. You know what I'm saying? And it's time that I need to change what I'm doing so I can have a back too. You know what I'm saying? What you got for that, bro?
I love that because now it becomes like a business with a purpose.
Yes.
It doesn't
Yes.
just serve you individually, but now you're affecting other lives for the better. People are understanding that, wow, that's like when you forcing your own relatives to look in the mirror, right? And
Yes. Yes.
realize,
Yes.
hey, I have to make better decisions with my
Boy.
life.
Boy.
It can become a snowball effect, in your own household, in your own, family circles in general. And just to see, the family come together and be able to have, a better rapport, a better respect for one another.
Absolutely.
It hits different, right?
Absolutely, man. And then for the people to sit back, the family members, and see that type of change occur with one of their family members, you can't put money on that, bro.
Absolutely.
Instead
Absolutely.
of instead of not having a family business and that person is just thrown to the street to decay and deteriorate, whatever, and you can't really do nothing for them. You know what I mean?
Wow, that's a great point.
Yeah, absolutely, sir. Absolutely. That's what we're doing right here. That's what's going on. Uh,
Bullseye.
thank you. So, and why have a family business? The second one we got here is the elderly. Now, I'm gonna highlight this, bro, because I think it's necessary. Give me a second. All right. So you got different backgrounds out there who truly believe that, or they have a setup to where they take care of the elderly. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sending them to the home. These are my responsibility. These are my parents. These are my grandparents. We gonna take care of them. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
they're excuse me, they're better taken care of because their loved ones are watching them. They live longer. You know what I'm saying? Uh, excuse me. In most of these environments, there's a business, right?
Right.
And even if there's not, there's that unity that holds together strong. And in other communities, they send them to a nursing home. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? Because they can't afford it or
Right.
they don't want to put forth that effort to go that extra mile. It's a struggle. It's expensive. It's costly. It takes patience. It takes love. It takes a whole lot of stuff that people don't really want to put forth in their efforts. But a family business can give another opportunity to that. What you got, bro?
Man, you did that so well. I almost don't want to touch it. I think I'm just going to add one small thing.
Okay. Okay.
When I think of our elderly, that's our wisdom.
Yes,
That's
sir.
how
Yes, sir.
even if we have more knowledge about our business than they would,
Mhm.
it's still great to have what I would consider wise counsel around you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because they've been here so much longer that we have to understand that it's not by accident.
Right. Right.
So that's all I would add is that that's our wisdom. And
Excuse me.
man, you did so great on there. There's nothing else for me to add to that.
All right, cool. Thank you, man. So we're gonna move to the next one. Reasons why to have a family business. We just talked about the elderly. Now we're gonna jump to the other side and focus on the youth. If you got a family business, man, and everybody's pulling together and forming that structure, making money together, forming unity together, man, what does that do for the youth, bro?
I mean, it's great because it shows them so much more, right? It shows
Yeah.
them that they literally have a direct experience of what can happen at such a young age. They don't have to be in a situation where a lot of our kids are kind of only hoping and wishing and praying
Yeah.
to get better and to have better, whereas when you already have it,
Mhm.
they already know what's possible.
For real.
They understand that there's no limits to life. They see, oh wow, we're already doing this. And it's kind of like, as they grow, they realize, oh man, by the time I hit this young age later down in life, this is where we'll be. Like
Man.
it helps. The beauty of it is it helps the kids, have a vision.
Boom.
You
Double bullseye right down the middle. So what that does, man, is they see the family working together to reach a common goal. So if you're like seeing this money come in like every few minutes, every few seconds, the idea of working a job becomes irrelevant because a job's going to tell you, we'll pay you this amount once a week, once every 2 weeks, whatever, but we want all this from you. And then a family business is going to show you, hey, we set up, to pull money different ways in different amounts. We making this X amount of dollars in a day. You know what I'm saying?
right.
They see the business side of it and how a business pulls a bigger volume of money, man, versus an individual pulling a much smaller amount of money. And then when they're having family vacations in places like Hawaii, in places like Florida, where the whole family goes and they stay for 2 weeks instead of one. You know what I'm saying? They stay in this really, really nice resort. You know what I'm saying? They fly in first class. You know what I'm saying? They're taking all the excursions instead of picking, which one you want to go on. It's like we're going on all of them. You know what I'm saying? What you got, bro? What's your thoughts?
I have a short, but I think effective rebuttal, man, for what you said. I think this is really cool. As you know, I love popular culture.
Yep.
So it's just more of a line from a movie reference, and I know you'll get it and totally understand where I'm coming from. You remember in the movie Ray, when he was first, getting ready to sign that first real good deal he was getting with Atlantic Records. And, he told him, he said, if you think pennies, Mr. Charles, you get pennies.
Right.
Think dollars, you get dollars.
Absolutely.
So that's what I'm kind of actually thinking of, because it's like, the smaller you think, that those are the results you'll get.
Yep.
the larger you think, those are also the results you'll get as well.
Absolutely, man. And so it broadens the perspective of the youth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it lets
Right.
them see their true value instead
Exactly.
of somebody telling them or
What
limiting
their
them.
value is.
Boom, there you go.
Uh-huh. Yep.
There you go. The power of a family-owned business, which leads us to the next one, which is respect for the family name. What you got, bro?
Yeah, man, it's amazing. It's kind of almost what we only touched on it earlier in a different capacity, but thinking about like the social media platform, right? And
Uh-huh.
how, basically someone's name got them, seats in parliament, right?
Right.
So it's kind of like, think about what that could do, well, how many doors and avenues that opens up from a
Man,
business perspective, right? Just
man.
based on your name. Just like, and I mean, I think I'm on fire today. There's a movie, and I know you know about it really well. A movie with Eddie Murphy from the '90s called The Distinguished Gentleman.
Yes.
He literally he's a con man, and he literally wins a seat. I think on the House of Reps based on someone's name who was no longer living.
Yep.
So because his last name just so happened to be Johnson, he literally rode that all the way to this seat.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's funny because the beauty of it was by the end of it, he understood. He became a man of character at that point. He understood, oh, wow, I could really be doing this with my gifts as opposed to what I was doing before.
Boy. And that's exactly the point that we're stressing today, man. That was a great example. That was awesome, bro. So respect for the family name. So right now, I'm thinking about a few families in the hood that I grew up in,
Mhm.
where you mentioned a name and you automatically thought, man, that's trouble. You know what I mean?
Right.
You don't want to run. You don't want to make a run in with those people.
Right.
Any of them. You know what I'm saying? You piss off one, you piss off all of them. And then that was the respect that family had to hood.
Right.
You run into that family or any one of those families, and you got a problem. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So this is on the other end of the spectrum. Respect for the family through business. And I'm gonna say a name, and everybody gonna know it. McDonald's.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Anybody who is a actual McDonald family member, they good all day, bro.
Oh man.
Because you can't go 2 blocks without running into one of those restaurants, bro.
Right.
No matter where you at, and I literally
And
mean no matter where you at.
And
Go ahead, bro.
I just wanted to piggyback off of that, man. You mentioned a great point because think about how many McDonald's there are. The phrase of over 1 billion served, and
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, you can't even go a 2-block radius. Think about how each location is just booming too within those. No matter how close they are in proximity.
Right.
It's kind of a phenomenon that still amazes me. Going back to when I was a kid in the '90s, just looking all the way to now, like this place only gets more and more popular. It seems,
Right. And for some reason, the kids love it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So respect for the family name, man. That can go a long way, and it can create a dynasty that has no cap.
Right.
The next one up, man, is revenue at a bigger volume. I just mentioned that, but what you got for that, bro?
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah. I was about to say we did just speak on that, and it's amazing because again, you realize a lot of times this now comes to mind. It's like you have a dream and a vision for yourself, right?
Right.
And it's like to see yourself actually get there is everything. But I think the most effective thing about it is because you put everything into it and gave so much time and effort into that, you actually achieved way more than you actually ever envisioned from the beginning.
Absolutely. And that's when the business excuse me takes off and starts working on its own. You know what I'm saying? When you get to that point that you can't stop the business even if you wanted to, that's when you good.
Right.
That's when you can make some real decisions, man, and start doing some other type of things with the resources that you're building off of that family business, man. Uh, awesome, bro. I love this.
Yeah.
So other reasons to start a family business, it keeps the family unit strong. Excuse me. It builds character. What you got for those, bro?
Yeah, man. I mean, it to your point, and we mentioned it earlier. When you have a like you said, with the example of the family member that may have an abuse problem,
Yeah.
uh, all of a sudden, like you said, eventually, hopefully, more often than not, they probably start to get it.
Yep.
And when something is so powerful that it literally can change one's character,
Mm-hmm.
you have something special, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, the money is great, but when you actually can touch and affect lives and do it for the better,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the world is so much better and it needs more of that, right?
Oh man, for sure. You got options, man. Instead of saying let them go ahead and destroy themselves, you say, hey, we're gonna put you in therapy. We're gonna put you in a facility, excuse me, that's gonna help you with that. We're gonna get you some help. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a big difference, bro. And it's love. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So other reasons to start a family business, man, it helps you strengthen your strong points, and it also helps you build to a stronger weak point, or make your weak point stronger. What you got, bro?
I love that ideology because, like you said, to be able to enhance the strengths you already have,
Mhm.
but also be able to look at turning your weaknesses into possible strengths.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's the difference between, a player who, maybe can't make the G League and Michael Jordan, right?
Right, for real.
Because you realize that those great players, those great athletes, they might come in with a certain level of greatness,
Mhm.
but if you notice, year by year, period by period, they're always adding to their game.
Absolutely.
Always looking to make something that they're not so great in into a possible strength.
Boy. And then when you look at each family member, everyone has a strength. You know what I'm saying? You got somebody who's very vocal, who could be great for advertisement. You have somebody who's quiet, but they think a lot. They got good ideas. They can help fine tune the
Expand,
business. Yeah.
right.
And then you have those who are just good workers. You know what I'm saying? They can put the physical aspect in on it, and they all have their own strength. But when you work as a family unit in a business structure, man,
It's an unbreakable bond.
Yeah.
There's no way you can destroy this family at this point.
boom. That's it. I mean, I got more to talk about, but that's it. That's it.
Right.
And it creates a new focus, man. When you make that business successful, you get through all those negatives and those drawbacks, and you get to where it's functioning on its own, it's making money. You can free up your time, you can free up your lifestyle, you can get some real things to occur, man. That new focus is something great. So let me give people an idea of that. So right now, where you're at without a business, your focus is paying bills on time, getting to work on time, getting food in your cupboards, You know what I'm saying? Getting gasoline in your car. So with a family business, excuse me, that's successful, your focus is, excuse me, which college do you want to go to?
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? Pick a spot on the map and we'll go there.
right,
You know what I mean?
right.
Uh
The vehicle that you might want.
no, you got it.
Right, right,
You don't want it, you got it.
right, right,
You know what I'm saying? Which restaurant are we eating at today? You know what I'm saying?
right.
I mean, you got options, bro, and it's different, man. It's like, how much do you want to invest into this? You know what I'm saying? Uh, it's way different, bro.
Right.
You got any thoughts on that?
Man, that was spot on. You're hitting bullseyes yourself, man.
Thank you,
So
man. Thank you.
yeah, there's nothing for me to touch on that because you painted the picture. You
All right.
painted the picture.
I appreciate that. So next thing, why start a business? It helps you with things like time management, which I gotta say, bro, our people have a real big problem with that. Uh, um, time management, and it's not just our people. It's a lot of people that have problem with time management, but our people have a problem with time management, bro. They even created something called CP time. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Bro,
right.
we got to get away from those type of things, man.
Absolutely.
It's putting us backwards. You know,
Right.
it's making us walk backwards instead of forwards, man. A sense of urgency, getting more done, no time to waste, man. What are your thoughts on all that?
I mean, I love how you lumped all that together because I think they're all relevant together.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
You know, if you're looking at when your sense of urgency is right, you know, you're obviously like you're going to be able to get so much more done in such a short amount of time
Absolutely.
because you've created that heightened level of, hey, I've got to get this done. Here's my own personal deadline and it has to be done by then.
Right.
As opposed to, you know, if you're in a mindset of procrastination,
Mhm.
it'll get done when it gets done. And it's kind of like, I mean, with that state of mind, you have to think there's a possibility it may never get done.
True that, man. True that.
You know?
True that, man. So instead of being 10 minutes late or 2 hours late, how about be 10 minutes early or 2 hours early? See how much you can get done before starting time. That's the mentality of a business owner, man. And then after you close, 10 minutes on top of that, 10 minutes later or 2 hours later, how much more can you get done after the fact?
Right.
So those are the moments that count the most, man. And right now, I want to highlight something that I came across when I was on my vacation, man. And it's blew me away, bro. And it's still blowing me away because I try to read this every day, man. Check this out. Advice from a billionaire who's 60 years old. If you don't come from a family, if you don't come from a rich family, then a rich family has to come from you.
Wow.
That's rule number one from a billionaire who's 60 years old. I'm gonna say that again.
Wow.
If you don't come from a rich family, then a rich family must come from you.
Wow. I totally got that.
Yeah, man. Rule number
Wow.
2 from a billionaire who's 60 years old. Forget about the girls and focus on one woman. She will help you achieve everything. In other words, you focus on more than one woman, then they'll take everything from you. All right. So rule number 3, with the advice from a billionaire who's 60 years old. This is wisdom, bro. This is
Hey,
wisdom.
absolutely.
You will never be criticized from someone. I can't read my own writing, man. Who is doing more than you? Okay, you will never be criticized from someone who is doing more than you. You will only be criticized by those who are doing less than you. That makes a lot of sense, bro. There's so much truth.
Wow.
There's so much truth in that, man, because think about it. Where does all the criticism come from?
From those who don't have what you have.
And then when you get with people who have more, what are they trying to do? They're trying to encourage you, right?
Right. They're trying to help you get to the point to where they actually are.
Man, these are not just rules. These are
life lessons. Yeah.
These are life lessons and laws for success, bro.
Right.
Rule number 4: a winner is just a loser who tried one more time.
Wow. Yeah.
You feel me, man?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is advice from a billionaire who's 60 years old, man. Rule number 5: people get really mad when you don't let them use you. Have you ever experienced that, bro?
Yep.
I've
Definitely.
experienced that. I've experienced that, man. And they just get real irritated. I mean, beyond normal irritation
Yeah.
when they can't use you, bro. And I've seen that up close and personal. And this dude, he hitting points that he had to go through something. You know what I'm saying? First of all, you're a billionaire at 60. You done went through some stuff.
Right. Right.
So these are rules that he's throwing out there. Rule number 6: never post your achievements. Post stupid stuff and jokes so they don't think you have a future. People hate progress. Ain't that crazy?
Wow.
Ain't that crazy?
Wow.
They do. People hate
Wow.
progress, bro.
Absolutely.
You
That's
roll
a
up in a
fact.
new car, they looking at
They
you.
mad at you. Yeah, they
Yeah.
mad at you for it.
You move into
Absolutely.
a new house, they don't even want to visit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I gotta say this, bro. And it blew me away when it happened. I had somebody I know show up at my house, bro. I didn't even know they knew where I stayed. They showed up in my house, bro. And I was like, "You want to come in?" No, I was just driving by. Why you come all the way here just to drive by? And then in part of their conversation, I heard you went to Cancun. What? Really? I'm like, dog, you got my phone number, right? You could have called.
Right.
But you gonna make it your business to drive all the way where I stay, pull in my driveway to ask me and talk to me about stuff like that. Don't even come
And
in.
not want to come in. Right.
People hate progress, bro. Rule number 7 from a billionaire who's 60 years old: when you become lazy, it's disrespectful to those who believe in you. Come on, man.
Wow.
Come on, man. Dude, this is like some Moses type of prophetic type of stuff, man.
Wow.
I mean, this stuff really made me feel different after I read it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And rule number 8, this is the stinger, man, from a billionaire who's 60 years old. 6 months of hard work, discipline, consistency, and focus can change your life forever. Dude, he just laid out the plan for success. And it can happen in 6 months, bro.
Wow.
This is somebody who knows what they're talking about. He's a billionaire
who's done it.
He's 60, right? 6 months. Think about that, bro. January, February, March, April, May, June. It's June now, right?
Right. When July hits, you good, right?
So from January 1 to now, if we doing what we supposed to do, bro, did we start this show on January 1st this year?
We did.
Hey, man, rock on. So 6 months of hard work, discipline, consistency, and focus. You hear all that in there? Hard work, discipline, consistency, and focus. 4 things. 6 months of that can change your life forever. Man, come on, bro. This is
Wow.
a billionaire talking. Somebody better listen, man. Um, what you got for that, bro?
Man, it's one of those things where there's so much that you touched on when you read the quotes, and then we gave the little breakdown at the end.
Yeah.
But so much just stands out to me. For example, I think it was rule number 2. Not one to lose, and I'm paraphrasing, but
Uh-huh.
not one to just chase after too many women,
Right, right,
because
right.
basically it's going to get you off your focus. And
Boy.
that stands out to me because you know me, I got to go here. I'm reminded of another movie quote, and this is with Chris Rock.
Uh-huh.
I think I love my wife,
Yeah.
and Kerry Washington pops back into his life, and his boss starts to notice some things that are different about him, and finally he sits him down and he breaks it down and says, "Hey, you can lose so much money, chasing after women.
Yep.
But he's like, one thing is for sure, you'll never lose women chasing after money."
Boom. Boom. Man. Man. That's beautiful, bro. I'm glad you brought that up. That ties right in with everything, bro.
Right,
That's a bullseye out this world.
right.
So the last couple points we got here is money management, financial planning, and ownership. Uh, when you own a business, a family business, these things right here become like the tip of the iceberg. What you got, bro?
Man, I'm gonna take it here.
Okay.
This is gonna be probably a surprise turn, but I'm gonna take it here. I think it's cool. I think it's a good choice. So when looking at, I gotta go here. Looking at the diaspora of Black people in general, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
There is so much we don't know. There's so much that's lost. Um, so many things that we've endured. Coming from greatness in general,
Right.
and then become eventually getting to the lowly state of not being an indentured servant, but being a
Mm.
slave.
Mm.
Um, it's one of those things where when you get to that low of a point, if you're when you have ownership, right, that's like the ultimate pinnacle for us,
Right.
because at one point we didn't own us, someone else did. So to not only own ourselves, to not only own our businesses, to not only own the focus of where our family's trajectory for the future is going,
Yeah.
it's everything.
Yeah, it
It
is.
literally is the reason for living for us at this point.
Boy. So, in other words, we shouldn't be focused on anything else but a family business
At this point, yeah, really.
because it fixes so many things. It actually undoes everything that was done to us.
Right. Gets us back closer to where we were in the beginning, right?
Hey, man, that's the whole point that I'm trying to bring today. That's what's going on with us, and that's what we're trying to say. Listen, you know what I'm saying? All these things from a family business, if you focus and are consistent and got all everything in line, got all your priorities and stuff in check, you can start on January 1, bust your tail as a family unit, and then by June, you can have the pathway laid to build generational wealth in your family, man. What you got for that, bro?
Yeah, man. That's the whole purpose of it, man. If you can, it's all about understanding that there is something greater than you. You have to be able to see beyond how will life be and look for my family when I'm no longer here.
Man, look. So So what you learned today, I'm gonna let you know what you learned today. This is something you don't get in school, right? I've never had a billionaire show up at my class in school and teach strategies on how to become a billionaire. But this is something that I found on vacation, and it's 8 rules that a billionaire who's 60 years old lives by, and blew me away then. And every time I read it, and then when I just read it now, it blew me away again, bro. Because literally, if you do everything you need to do to focus and be consistent, 6 months, bro. Not 4 years of high school, not 4 years of college, not 12 years of college. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not no ridiculous amount of time, not even 9 months. Some of these courses you can take are 9 months to become a professionist in some type of skill trade. 6 months, bro. You got people who work jobs for years trying to get a promotion.
Right.
No disrespect.
Right.
You can earn a good living, right? But 6 months, bro.
It's not.
Go ahead, bro.
I'm sorry, not to cut you off. I was just going to mention it's just nothing like having total ownership of your own destiny, right?
Man, look.
The destiny of your family, having ownership of the destiny of everyone around you whose lives you can actually touch.
Boy, and I want to go here, bro. How long does it take a baby once conceived to be born?
Wow, exactly. 9 months, right? So, yeah, I mean, you're talking about in 2/3 of the time he laid down the foundation of, yeah, right. That's beautiful.
Yeah, man. So you can literally change the direct trajectory of your whole family future, no matter where you at. If I focus on my own for 6 months, I can get good, right? But if I got a team of people linked, locked, focused, my family, my peeps, and we all focus, come on, man.
Just think about, in other words, it's the level of unity that you have with you that allows you, like when everybody has the same vision, right?
Yeah, yes.
Everybody's able to, think the same way and walk in that same purpose. And it's kind of,
Yes.
it becomes a different thing because now you're not trying to focus on achieving something by yourself. When you have, again, a team of people working, focusing to achieve, all coming to achieve that common goal together.
Boom. So when you're working by yourself, it's a vision. It's a vision. You working with a team, it's a movement.
Right.
Come on, man.
Well stated.
Thank you. I think we just said enough, man. I think that's all I got for today. You got anything you want to cap it off with, bro?
Man, this is a great show, and I'm glad we had the opportunity to do it.
Absolutely.
And I just want to thank everybody for tuning in and sticking with us this long.
Hey, man, I appreciate everybody, all the support, all the followers, all the views. Just stick with us. We got more coming. We do this. This is what we do. You know what I'm saying? I got through my struggles this morning. I appreciate y'all hanging with me and listening to my coughs and my scratchy throat, all that good stuff. But that's my passion and desire, man. I'm trying to bring y'all some good stuff that y'all can use to change y'all family's trajectory, like I'm changing my family's trajectory. All right. So that's all I got, Poetics, man. Are we good?
Yes, sir. I think we did well.
I agree. So y'all take care of yourselves. Look for the next episode in about a week. Hey, peace and love. Y'all take care.
Peace, y'all.